infection from all across the country.
I have dodged all
training center is
sickness.
going to be cooler than yours.
What's that?
But my training center is going to be cooler than yours. The best flight simulators in the country, and we get to play with them a few times a year.
Lucky.
Yay!
That'll actually be kind of cool.
Well, if I get the Argus, then I'll get to be one of the people that get to prototype drones. So I'll have to visit you at the flight lab.
I'm okay with that plan.
I would be happy to sell any of you furniture for your business.
Sounds awesome. All right, Scott, let us know when you are ready.
We've been streaming for the past 30 seconds.
Great.
Yay! Hello, world.
So, how about we start with you guys telling me your perceptions of where your group is right now?
And Narga is currently watching a bunch of humans and Yanti and other squishy mammals engage in strange acts of carnal delights.
That sounds about right, honestly.
Yep.
And is offering Rosho what did they have? Not an echidna, a rat on a stick, a giant rat on a stick.
Capybara.
Yeah, capybara on a stick.
Okay.
Sim is high on some kind of magical prime stuff that makes his magic more potent, which he's just spending on cantrips because, he's high and having a good time frolicking and being the omnisexual thing that he is.
Okay.
Spider is perusing the edges of the orgy, looking for loose pockets and pouches not attached to their owners.
Okay.
And possibly samples of powders for later use.
All right. And how about Steph's dwarf? I think he was with Spider originally, but
Yeah, he was. We'll say that he's doing the same thing. He's kind of sticking close to Spider after the fiasco of him being allowed on his own. It's like, maybe I'll stick with someone else for a little while.
okay.
He was just playing his character, gosh.
He likes dogs.
That's what his character would do.
The little brat wouldn't share her doll with him.
He was teaching her about sharing.
Very important.
Yeah. It's a golden rule lesson. It's fine.
Okay. So I guess we'll start with Spider. Go ahead and roll a pickpocket check for me. With disadvantage because unfortunately you have a dwarf that's clinging on to you and
we need to teach him.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No, not bad. All right. So you get 96 gold pieces worth of various coins.
Heyday.
And you also get... Oh, shit. You're able to get about 1.5 pounds of various powders.
Various powders.
Yes.
I am super careful not to touch with my skin.
Okay. And you're keeping them separate from each other as well?
Yes, I've learned my lesson about toads and powders.
Super drugs for Sim. He's mixing.
I will no longer lick anthropomorphic frogs.
Okay. Unless anyone else has something specific during the party / orgy going on, I will say that the grung that got attacked does come stumbling into the party at some point, being kind of leaning on 2 other grung. And they do talk back and forth, and they're kind of chirping language. And they are led off to an area where he is taken care of and actually put into a tub of water, and he's given like special bugs and mushrooms. The guards, the Yonti, do like interrogate them, but they don't seem to have much information because he didn't actually see who attacked him. But the guards are now on guard, looking for someone that has might have a grung addiction.
Grung heads.
I would say that after like, and I don't know how long this would last, but I would say after like 15, 20 minutes, Narga gets bored and just kind of like starts wandering around looking for somewhere to nap.
Okay.
But away from the sound and probably the weird smells.
Considering he was who Rosho Lizard Lady was with last, I think she would probably go with him because she's not particularly interested in an orgy at the moment. So,
Wasn't there a female Null like accosting him over his claims of something or other?
yes.
Or did that get moved?
Yes, earlier there was a interaction where a knoll was brought forth while you guys were finishing your interaction with the 12-year-old child. And this knoll woman had, in knoll, to Narga, said, at least I think he was in knoll, I don't 100% remember, basically demanded to know whether or not he was going to try to usurp her, and he asked her if she was someone's pup, basically, and she said she didn't know what he was talking about.
At which point, both of them dropped it.
Yep. Actually, I think it was in common because they were actually in the middle of discussing the child. So
That was OOC refresher for me. I just vaguely
Yeah.
remember Tim's been partying. He doesn't know any of that.
yeah, no, Rosho does though, because I do think they were actually saying it in common because it was actually part of the conversation regarding the 12-year-old child.
Okay. The one that, let's just remember, got assaulted by the dwarf.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just keeping track. I just want to drive that home so when Steph
And
comes
then
back.
got a paralysis spell cast on her because from the lizard woman.
That's different. She was being really loud and it was annoying. I didn't just want to take her doll.
I was almost like liquefied by Narga if you guys hadn't stopped him.
Yeah, almost.
What doesn't
Alright.
kill you.
All right, so Rosho and Narga, as you're wandering off to try to find somewhere to sleep, are you trying to find like a tavern/inn, or are you going just outside of town to like camp?
So Narga would prefer to sleep somewhere dry and warm and inside, preferably like curled up on a rug in front of a fire or something. But
It's amazing.
Is he a cat? He's a cat now.
It's a dog. He's our puppy.
so
I would.
see, weirdly, hyenas more closely related to cats than they are dogs. However,
Good to know. Still puppy.
Just like a fox. They're a canine with cat software.
yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. They're amazing.
So, but Narga, like, if Narga doesn't see anywhere that looks particularly inviting and like actually open and not involved with the orgy, he's just gonna find some like tree that looks like it can provide, because we're in a jungle, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you are.
So like, he doesn't want to be rained on. Basically, he's looking for somewhere dry to sleep.
Okay, well, I do have to ask, does Rosho and Narga discuss this at all?
I feel like it would be brought up. Yeah. Or should be like, okay, this is boring. What do you want to do?
And Narga needs sleep. Lizard woman probably needs sleep too.
A nap sounds like a good idea. Do you want to try an in?
It would be nice to be out from under. It's very wet here. Very. I don't like it.
Do you want to cuddle?
Narga makes weird smells when wet.
Thank you for that, I'm sure, very necessary information, Narga. What would you like to try then if you don't think an inn will be dry enough?
No, and it will be dry enough. I
Oh, okay.
prefer
That's what
I prefer somewhere with a roof, but honestly, I'm just tired. I was about to kill a little child, you know.
I do know. I was there. How about I would just guide us to the nearest inn then that, didn't look completely overrun, what with the orgy.
Okay, well, then go ahead and give me an investigation check.
All right.
Do you want Narga to do an investigation check?
Yeah, can it not be insight?
Oh no,
Does it have to be
it's investigation. You could also do insight once you find something.
Hey, I didn't roll a negative on my investigation this time.
Okay, so go ahead and both of you give me an insight check as well. Though I will say, Shayna,
Much
you
better.
accidentally rolled a D10 on your first one, not a D20. So could I actually have the 19 will be your investigation? Could you roll another one? Thank you.
There you go.
All right. So Narga, you see kind of a rundown place. It does have a fire in the middle of it. I will say Roadshow.
Wait. I want clarification here. It has a fireplace in the middle of it? Or it has a fire in the middle of it?
Like the trash can fires, those big oil drums just.
Yeah, no, it's like a trash can fire, only they've rigged like a whatchamacallit.
So it's a hobo underpass. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, however,
Dirty
Roadshow
Mike and the boys are coming for you because the Prius is busy.
and Narga, it looks like they're roasting some of the capybaras over the top of the fire. Roadshow, you see a very nice inn that it looks like they are roasting like on spits with doing nice dressing over the top these same capybaras. A very nice inn that probably is definitely not involved in the orgy. Narga starts wandering off, however, towards something that looks like maybe they're cooking just like diseased rats over some sort of like makeshift thing.
Salivating, just salivating.
But she reaches out to grab hold of either fur or clothing and it's like, hold on, I think this place is better. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Narga agrees. That place looks much better than Hoboville.
Hobo literal trash fire.
Okay. All right, so as you enter this establishment, there are large capybaras being roasted. They are being marinated in very delicious ways. There is a Yonti woman, looks very humanoid behind it, like the main entrance, who greets you and asks you what you would like to have for the evening.
A room and food.
Yeah, I just need food and a rug. Or Narga just needs food and a rug somewhere.
A room with a rug in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we do have a nice room with a nice rug and fireplace for 4 silver.
Large stuffed pillows rarely fit Narga.
We do have a lot of stuffed pillows. This room does also include the food and beverages.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Hand her the 4 silver.
Okay.
Just let her free.
1, 2.
I got Narga. I got it. I paid the lady. You're good.
Oh.
It's a business expense. I got it.
All right. Very well. And then he will actually turn to Rosho and go, 1.
Narga's my favorite. I love Narga.
He's pretty awesome. All right, she will go ahead and take you up to a room. It's a very nice room. It does have a large bed on it. There's a large rug right in front of a fireplace.
instantly out. Just like instantly, just out.
Yeah, and the woman does actually go ahead and start a fire in the fireplace, despite the fact that, it's kind of hot and humid here. And then she'll run back below and actually bring you out platters of food, both vegetables and meat and beverages, and then leave you to your evening.
Narga's kind of in that weird like cat sleep stage, so like he only / actually dogs do this too, where they like sleep and then get up, eat, and then go like immediately back to sleep, and then like it's not so much like I'm basically gonna take a long Narga's gonna take a long rest as long as he's gonna get interrupted, but it's like 45 minutes of sleep and then like little jaunts of waking up.
Yeah.
Every now and then his paw goes like this.
Twitches a bit. What you chasing, boy? What you chasing?
What do you smell? What do you smell?
12-year-old girl about to turn into hag.
Okay. That was creepy for a second.
Bad. Not allowed. Okay. Yeah. Rosha's super fine with the quiet company. She's going to do the same thing, really. But probably eat all that first and then just go straight to sleep.
That makes sense for a lizard.
Yeah. I'm going to
All right.
digest this. Be right back.
All right, and Spider's pickpocketing, and we've already made those rolls. Sim, would you go and... Sorry.
I feel like orgy should count as a long rest for a satyr. Like, that is... like...
Would you go ahead and roll me a d10? This is in regards to who you seduce for the evening regarding the party, if that is your wish.
I'm seducing everyone.
Anyone and everyone he wants.
Natural 10.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a taste.
All right.
We're just gonna wake up and we're gonna walk out, and there's just gonna be this pile of naked bodies, and then at the like very center is going to be ketchup.
When I
Sample platter.
statue erected in my honor.
Yep. So I'm gonna say there's between 2 and 3 people of each species that are just like totally involved with you throughout the night. So in the morning, it is literally a pile of bodies. There's Grung, there's Yanti, there is some human.
It's a day in my life.
There's even a couple of gnolls involved.
You know.
And 1 or 2 dwarves. And so we do have to figure out what Spider and... Why am I blanking on the dwarf's name?
Barrett.
What you choose to do through the rest of the evening, because as it progresses, you do see Sim beginning to get it on with all of these people.
At that point, it gets awkward for me.
Okay.
And then I remember the warning that I was given at the tavern. And I will go looking for Lizard Lady and realize suddenly that she might have been kidnapped because I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
So I will attempt to ask around for the Lizard Lady with my dwarf bodyguard.
Bodyguard is very generous of you. Thanks.
I saved his life.
So
Feels me like an honor debt or something.
That actually sounds about right. I should check with him on that one. So by the way, you owe a life debt to Spider now.
Yep.
Yes, please put it like that.
All right. So which is higher, persuasion or investigation? Because you could actually go either way with this.
Definitely persuasion.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check for me to try to figure out where Lizard Lady went.
Okay. And by definitely, I mean I don't have a negative.
All right. So it is going to take you a couple hours of like gently coercing people to tell you, and then realizing no, they didn't see anyone, and trying someone else.
Realizing 50% of the population could be described as a lizard lady, so.
Yeah. So it does take you a little bit of time, but you do eventually figure out which establishment they went to. Probably eventually by saying she might be with this very dark furred hooded knoll
Right.
towering over
By
her.
asking a bunch of hobos around the dumpster fire.
Yeah.
We stop for a capybara.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you do eventually find the establishment.
Excellent. I will, hopefully that she's not been abducted or coerced. She has the knoll. He's dangerous. We will attempt to sneak into their room.
Okay.
I don't know who's in there, so be
Tell
fun.
me, Narga and Rosho.
My passive perception is 10, but I'm asleep, so that would give me disadvantage, so that put it at 5.
Right. So
I'll tell the dwarf to give me a few minutes and then come in.
Okay, Rosho, what is your passive perception? And are you staying awake or are you going to sleep? 6?
14. 1 4.
All right. So if you're asleep, it's going to be 7.
9.
Okay.
9?
Round up.
It's so if with disadvantage you get -5.
Okay.
Advantage is +5, so she would have disadvantage because she's asleep. So 14 -5 is 9.
Okay.
Well, I'd be in my lizard food coma, so
All right.
I'm assuming I'd be asleep. Digesting.
Heat lamp.
So
I just had a vision of her from V eating a hamster gerbil or something.
well, we have had a character do that multiple times, actually.
Was it full moon?
No, it's Sasava.
Yeah, it was Sasava.
All
She
right.
carried mouse snacks in her purse.
And depending upon when you wake up, like Narga could be like actually up and about eating, but like that's entirely up to you. It's kind of random.
All right. So, Spider, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Bam.
Oh, yeah.
22.
You find the room, you sneak up into it. They are both passed out. There is a platter of food and beverages.
Cool. I'll
in the
motion the
room.
dwarf. I'll motion the dwarf to come on in, but be quiet.
Mhm.
We'll
The
make
dwarf
ourselves.
tries to be quiet.
We'll make ourselves comfy.
Okay.
Just wait till we wake up.
We'll play cards or something.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay. Come the following morning, Sim, you wake up in a pile of naked bodies with delightful memories of the night before.
Delightful.
Yeah, I'm going to
Am
go
I
with
hung
delightful.
over it all from the dust, or was there no ill effects?
No ill effects. With the roll you had originally done, your powers were boosted for a time, but there's no ill effects from that.
Nice.
Though there is a slight tinge of wanting more, but it's not a compulsion. It's just like a slight.
That's fair. I'm used to having sex with fairy beings that want me to have more of them too.
Okay.
Yeah, with expert practice, Sim will very quietly and discreetly extricate himself from the mound of satiated fans and go looking for his friends.
Okay.
You know, he'll do the hug and roll if he has to get his arms out, whatever. He's no old hat. You know, this is all old.
Okay. So
Still
I am
prancing, still like skipping along the way.
I am going to say this because there were several Yanti involved. It's not going to be a hug and roll because you're probably actually encircled by one of the Yanti at least,
They're huggers.
if not 2. So
Nice.
I am going to actually have to request a athletics check to see if you can escape them.
Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to make myself another drink. If anything happens that requires combat, I will grab you some too, Becca. Just whatever happens, Nario will choose the stupidest action.
Okay,
I really think
this
that
might take a
acrobatics
moment.
would have been much more fun for me than not getting athletics.
You do a backflip out of the pile of bodies.
Hey, look at that. See, he's done this before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're totally good. You're able to kind of like shimmy out of the coils,
Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
and as you leave it, the coils actually like curl around the nearest warm-blooded
Nice.
person and
Nice.
wrap them.
Gonna make him think he had a good morning.
Oh yeah.
I don't even remember this part. That's right.
How do you want to try to find your companions?
Be wandering around, see if, is there anybody even awake and up and about yet? Like outside, since that's where the orgy was.
Early morning, you are still going to have the very early morning vendors coming in from fishing or hunting, trying to sell the fresh meats.
So I will say, to any of these ones, if any of you are around here, I'm looking for, hypothetically speaking, where some squares and old people would have spent the night if they weren't down with the huge party we had here.
That's very presumptuous. Maybe we were there. We just didn't give a memorable performance.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. I
You
was
didn't
giving you the
stand down
benefit of
the
the doubt.
orgy. Sorry
I
about
gave you the
that.
benefit of the doubt.
All right. Well, with that terminology, they're going to send you to the temple of. I am going to mispronounce it right now because of how it is, but Sixotl. They
Okay.
would send you to the temple of Sixotl, and Shane, I'm really sorry for mispronouncing that right now, but I
It's
just
fine.
can't.
It's fine. It's fine.
The
Don't worry about
Mud Pumpy Temple.
Then he will go to the temple of Six Shuttle, and he'll, if the door is closed, he'll knock, and if it's not, he'll just walk in like he owns the place. Maybe even saying things like, "Here, lizard, lizard, lizard."
Pissing off all the Yanti, you racists.
They're not lizards, they're snakes.
I know, still racist. So that's just me saying I like that orgies should become a consistent theme for the campaign. Every time we stop in a village, you're just like, let's do this.
That's pretty much how satyrs work.
I know. I'm saying I did
Totally
it.
in character.
I'm saying yes. Continue. It's amazing.
All right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So you enter the temple. Calling out here, lizard lady, lizard lady. The Yanti priest actually turns to you.
Are they blushing like you are? Does that mean they had fun with me last night too?
Sure, yes. Chester's making me blush. Oh, actually, so's Travis.
That's kind of what I do.
Come one, come all. Didn't tish.
Okay.
Oh, let's see what the logos on our t-shirts. We'll do t-shirts for the campaign. Come one, come all.
It's really sucky when you walk in and all you hear is a punchline. By the way.
Yeah.
I take no credit. That was Travis.
Well, I asked where the squares and boring old people would go if they didn't want to participate in the last night's orgy, and the locals pointed me to the temple of this who I don't even know, because no one can agree on how to say it. So I went there, and apparently the priestess inside recognized me. So she's blushing and giggling, and I'm still waiting. If there's like a vat of water, like I'd probably grab some and kind of spritz off a little bit.
Do the never mind, I'm not going to say it out loud. That kind of the short back,
Mhm.
Why does Chester always invite me to the dirty games?
Shocking.
I don't get to do it on Saturdays, so I have to bring it out here.
Well, we could do it on Saturdays, but I don't know how well Scott would deal with it.
I do it fine, but there's like 8 people there, so like it's hard to
Yeah.
like really get.
Well,
Anyways.
he's perfectly fine with big groups. That's all I'm saying.
I roll well when big groups are involved.
Okay, we need to stop. We're gonna break back up.
I'm actually like okay. So Naruga, when he wakes up, I think that he wakes up around dawn. I don't know when all this is happening, but he is going to like. He's going to do the cat/dog thing of he sees these 3 people and like there is food here, but it's like we need to get going. It's dawn. It is like between both being a mercenary and him being kind of like antsy, he wants to get going, and he is actually concerned about things going on in the town, but like he doesn't really understand it. He knows that there's something wrong, but he doesn't understand what's wrong.
Okay.
So he actually starts by waking people up.
Okay. So, Narga, you wake up. Spider and
Barrett.
Bear. I don't know why I can't keep his
Bear.
name in my head today.
Imagine a Gatling gun on an arm, and you'll be fine.
Bear.
It's just your turn to mess up names. I've got
Yeah.
this game down.
Yep. No, it's great. Tonight is my night. All right. So, Narga, you wake up, and Spider and Barrett are there playing cards in the room, and they were not there when you went to sleep.
Again,
And-
mercenary have no issue with this. In fact, Narga and see that they're already up. Looks at Rosho, but like she's kind of the officer, and then looks at him like, "Deal Narga in."
We deal Narga in.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Are they
you
making
guys-
enough noise that I'd wake up, or
Well, the food's all gone, so I hope you weren't hungry.
I ate my fill last night, so I'm probably fine for a while.
I am imagining so we have a troll and a gnoll both holding cards, which I'm assuming the dwarf provided, which are
I've got a pair. That's that.
I'm more amused by the dwarf cards, just these tiny cards in our hands.
All right,
Anyways.
Are you guys actually playing some sort of gambling game, or are you playing something like Go Fish and
Oh,
Narga
no.
doesn't understand?
We're gambling.
Yeah, they're gambling.
I actually have proficiency in cards, so it's
So
not...
do we.
Okay.
We probably all do.
Understand, because I think we all kind of took the same soldier or mercenary backgrounds, or a gaming background. So yeah, we all kind of have proficiency in this.
All right. So do we want to call it a draw, or do we want to say Narga doesn't understand the coins?
Oh,
Because
Narga doesn't know how to bet. Narga knows how to play, but Narga does not know how to bet. We will definitely say that.
So even if he plays, he's not winning a lot of money.
Oh, he's
And
right.
when he when he wins very small amounts, but when he loses big.
Aw.
Well, we're not trying to take advantage. Okay, there's a whole town of people to take advantage of. So
Okay. So we'll say you're playing for the last cookies on the
Oh,
All right.
we're playing for food. Narga is super serious.
Okay.
But regardless, if you're looking for a sound, Narya at least if he loses big and understands he loses big, he would probably make a very painful hyena yip sound. Or if he wins big, you'd make this a delighted hyena yip sound.
So normally I could mimic the sound for you, but I can't tonight because I would.
I'm not even gonna try. So
Alright, I'll assume whatever the noise is loud enough to wake Rosha up.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
Sorry. Different
That's
party.
you in the distance.
Yeah, that's a different party.
Yeah, the
Alright.
priestess
Oh,
won
yeah.
round 2 in the temple.
Oh my god.
That's how we get Gorgons.
No.
Stop. No. Please don't impregnate the priestesses. We don't know what the rules are here.
The rules are pretty simple between between different species that would normally be incompatible. One of them has to use some sort of spell to change themselves to be able to actually work with the other.
Well,
Sounds like
that's
the thing that a certain someone would do.
Nope, I don't have it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yet.
Yes.
Wait till I get Alter Self.
hey, you know the spell.
Yeah, alter self is a really big deal in this world.
Don't do it.
Someday.
I mean, you're gonna, but don't.
However, comma pause, there are certain species that
have a perpetual alter self spell cast on them.
yeah, perpetual alter self, or can actually have their eggs impregnated magically.
Slod. Bastards.
Okay.
Saturday story before you join the game.
Oh, okay.
Kadachians, Yanti,
Yanti can't.
trolls.
Trolls can.
Uh-oh. There you go, Travis. You're good.
Anyhow, so yes, Rocho,
Anyways.
you wake up and 3 of your companions, missing Sim, are playing cards intensely over a plate of cookies.
Where is the plate of cookies located? Is it in between them?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is like they are using the cookies for chips.
Hmm.
We can use Druidcraft to like make
Yeah.
lift it and carry
I was
it.
gonna say, what's the tray made out of? Can I do a thing and make the cookies? Where is it?
A Druidcraft make like a vine, push the plate
Yeah,
up.
and bring it over to me while I'm in bed so that I can just pluck a couple cookies off and eat them.
Oh yeah, I could totally say that you could do that with Druidcraft.
I'm doing that then, for sure. I wake up, I see them, I know who they are, so it's not like she's gonna freak out. So yeah, Druidcraft. Cookies. What kind of cookies?
Okay, feeling that she's stealing food, I am going to firebolt the vine that just appeared out of the ground.
I've already grabbed a cookie, even if you succeed. I said it.
Suddenly the tent is on fire.
So yeah, suddenly,
I don't have combat casters, so I can't cast firebolt as a reaction. So yes, you.
I get a cookie. I get at least one cookie. All I want. All right, guys, let's get going.
Okay.
Let's
Sam,
go find.
yeah,
Last time Naruto saw ketchup, he
Last
was
time I saw him,
frolicking.
He was frolicking with the whole village. All of them.
Yes, if Naruto was back with Pack, he would have recommended that time to invade and kill everybody.
He's our distraction. He's the Trojan horse. Except he's the satyr. We can use that though.
I do not know this term Trojan horse, although I feel Trojan works well for Sim. I do not know why.
New nickname. He has one now. We're calling him Trojan. Thank you. It's settled. Everyone now has a nickname because you were the only one who did it.
But Sim might know that word. He'll get himself like a Trojan helmet and start wearing it.
That's fine. I'm fine with it. Not to side note, but Trojan was my high school mascot. So,
oh my god, mine too.
really? I thought that was so odd. Okay.
Yeah, Pahrump Valley Trojans.
I was the Spartans. I kicked you guys' ass.
No, our nemesis actually was the Virgin Valley.
Wow.
The Virgin Valley? What?
No.
I'm totally serious.
That's glorious.
Oh,
What
it's so
happens when
is.
we don't play for 2 weeks? Like our minds are just in the gutter. We can't get out of the orgy.
I'm
This is why we had to play sometime this week.
We
Okay.
did.
Let-
I've missed. We'll get back to it. I'll focus. I've missed this. I've missed all of you. Thank you. Continuing. Let's go find Trojan now.
Okay. Okay. Sim. Yes, the cleric, Yanti, does blush when you come in.
They always do.
Which would be difficult for a cold-blooded creature, so congratulations on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
He,
Whatever.
yeah,
He doesn't care.
Sim couldn't care less.
yeah. He greets you and asks what the cleric of Zox. I can't say it.
Zoxel?
Mud puppy.
Axolotl?
Yeah, Oxodal. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
What Oxodal, the cleric of Oxodal, can do for you.
So while kind of spritzing off with water from the little fountain, he'll just it's like, well, I'm looking for my friends, you know, the prudes that I came into town with. They disappeared before the party, and I mean, one of them said something about maybe paying me. I'm not sure, but this lady, Luann, she definitely told me to tag along with the lizard lady and said to try and lighten up her life a little or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what.
But yeah, so the
Oh, I
sun's
don't
up.
know. Llewellyn might have actually done that.
Totally plausible.
Yeah, Rosha's kind of boring. I mean, she could use some interest, and she's gotten it. I mean, not that, but
And I heard there was a fire last night. I don't even really know what was up with that. It's gonna make sure they're still alive, you know, at the very least, and maybe find them. And you know, if not, whatever. Party round 2. Ding
Oh,
ding.
yeah, that's right. Narga did kind of say that he was the champion of a demon lord last night. That can't be good, can it?
I don't know if I should even remind you guys. Maybe I should just let you all forget this little fact.
Sim wasn't there.
No, Sim wasn't there. Narga was, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I remember quite a few things, but I just forgot what I claimed as Narga because it was all bullshit. But
Was it though?
Okay. Anyhow.
we broke the DM.
we broke her. It's okay.
It's kind of my thing. Sorry.
Love it.
It's
I'm sure
totally
Karma will bite me soon on Sunday nights. We should go to the club and find Karma.
Oh my
See if she's
god! Stop! As soon as you said it, I knew. I'm like, he's gonna make the joke. He's gonna. Remember, we're supposed to be focusing now.
I am, but the DM's broken.
Shh. Let her recover. You're making it worse again. And snip.
If it helps, Becca, Narga will start even though really he doesn't have this ability, he has the smell ability, but he can't actually track that way because he's not a ranger. But he will try to sniff out Sim.
Okay, well, you could do an investigation check with advantage doing that if you're doing it scent-based.
He
Okay.
probably seems like a lot of people right now.
Could I use my
Yeah, this is gonna get weird.
9.
Well, no, not so much. You start sniffing, you smell Sim, but your nose goes right up someone's crotch.
Hey,
Hey,
back off.
Can we-
It would be outside the inn, but at the same time, here's the thing. Narga, not exactly one prone to personal space issues. Doesn't really get it.
So he's just all up in there. Sim, are you in here?
oh,
Crotch smells like Trojan.
Sim's been here.
oh,
Crotch seems Trojan.
Rosha's gonna ask whoever this poor soul is, Do you know where the person who left that smell on you went? Do you know?
I don't know what you're talking about. I just woke up.
And it hurts.
Who is this person? Like,
Yeah, who
like,
is this fourth person?
So it is a Yuan-Ti. It is a Malison with the lower half of a snake.
okay, so I'm getting a nose full of scale right now.
Oh yeah, definitely a nose full of scale.
Okay,
I guess can Rosha like
female, male, like.
Female this time.
Okay, Naruga apologizes for any awkwardness, but Naruga really needs to find Trojan.
She looks at you very confused.
Horny goat.
She does start laughing, and she will let you know. I'm not entirely sure where he went. He woke up, and she's like dying. He definitely got up before I woke up, and especially because I woke up just now. I'm not sure where he went. And she just starts laughing, which starts to wake up everyone around her.
okay.
Naruga cannot find Trojan.
Okay.
Everyone here smell like Trojan.
Someone was a busy boy last night. I guess all day and last night.
But none of these people dead. How could Trojan be busy? Did not kill anyone.
And that's a good thing. We think.
Are you sure?
Maybe. Let's move away from the people who smell of him and try finding his scent again. And see if it leads us somewhere else.
Naruga feels like he is not the most trained person at tracking people.
Okay. Hey, Spider. Hey, Spider. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Can you help since this scent thing is only going to lead us to previous conquests and less to the conquistador?
Yeah, there's a reason I don't use that ability.
Please, Ans, thank you.
Yeah. So,
One Trojan conquistador coming up.
sure. Want me to like go that way?
Whatever way you can track him. I don't know how you're doing the thing you're doing.
Sure. I'll wander off, but kind of keep them, side eye, make sure they don't get out of my sight, and like walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey."
You remember that really great lay you had last night? Where'd it go? Please
The
tell
guy
me.
that was here, party guy, party boy.
Party boy.
You seen him around? Is there a guard? Can I ask a guard?
He was the guard in the orgy. Is he waking up like, oh man, work?
There's definitely at least one guard that was off duty that wasn't part of the orgy. However, you are going to have to do an investigation check if you are targeting the guard
Oh yeah.
before you can do the persuasion check.
Hey, I got a 14.
You think someone that you're about to talk to might be a guard involved?
Okay.
They look really like you were trying to target like someone that you had seen that was in guard uniform and then joined. They look similar, but you can't quite tell.
I would
Alright.
like to point out that when he starts wandering off to ask people, Naruga like, that one actually is very good at finding things. Naruga thinks, but Naruga feels like there is somebody specifically trained in
I was
tracking people.
I was trying not to use him. I don't know what yet. I don't have a character sheet.
Okay.
I know nothing about Barrett. I know that he.
So this is one of the times that because you are Jaegering the character, We're going to kind of make up proficiencies for him because he didn't
Sounds
give you
good.
your character sheet.
So
So
then
let's say he is proficient with
survival.
survival.
And
Okay.
then-
Oh wait, was survival the role?
Yes.
Hi.
Survival or investigation would work with
Survival is what allows you to track people.
Shit.
this. I was
Survival.
doing investigation because the
He
other
also has
characters, it would
survival
make more
because-
sense for them to have investigation. And it's more of a like city setting, but survival would also work.
Because I have survival, just not really investigation.
Okay.
So I'll do it myself.
Okay.
What am I rolling?
Never.
Just survival?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wisdom survival check.
I found it on my goddamn own.
With a nat 20.
All right.
You are all a waste of my money and time.
But what
right.
about the guard?
Rocho, Spider is approaching someone that's like completely naked. Roughly 15 feet from them is someone that is naked, but is actually cuddling a guard uniform.
Right, but aren't we actually after? We're after Trojan. We're not after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's going on, but you could also. So this is one of those things, and why I was asking for investigation though is because it's a
Yeah.
mass in a city.
Yes.
So I would say that you definitely can find someone on the outskirts to ask.
Okay.
One of the vendors that was like closed up shop, but it was also super early because they were selling something like
Okay.
easily like cheese. I would go with cheese.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
totally.
asked-
Why
Well,
cheese? Because cheese makes sense to me right now. I'm sorry.
No, that's awesome for what's about to happen.
Yup. Hey, Mr. Cheese Vendor. I.
So as soon as Rocio looks like she's distracting the cheese vendor, Narga is going to like dive bomb the cheese.
Narga. Narga.
He didn't have any cookies. He's pretty hungry throughout the night.
All the cookies. What's my reaction time? Oh, how fast can I? Damn it.
Well, knowing Druid's abilities, you could start talking to the person, and the Narga comes and dive bombs the cheese.
Mm.
Cheese wheels start flying up as he starts chowing down on
I will
one.
say because Narga kind of understands currency in like a kind of like cool, like ephemeral way, just tosses his coin purse, which is like 10 gold right now, at the cheese merchant.
Oh, what's the value of the cheese that he's both eating and destroying by sending flying into the dirt?
Well, considering a cheese wheel would only normally be like 2 or 3 copper, or maybe 5 copper tops if it's like high end, and he's like scattering probably 20 wheels.
Nowhere near 10 gold, basically.
Nowhere near 10 gold. So long as you can convince the person to look in the coin pouch, he's going to be upset about the stand,
Yeah.
but he's not really going to care about the cheese.
All right. Hey, sir. Sorry about my friend.
But my cheese? Why I spent
He's
so
paying you.
long getting it right?
He's paying you. You don't have to work for the rest of the day. Here's your money. Have you seen a really horny satyr around? Sometime this morning, maybe. I'm gonna distract him. We'll talk about something else than the cheese.
I don't know what a satyr is.
About yay high, horns, humanoid upper body, got those furry little goat legs.
Oh, he went to Oxadel's temple.
Thank you, Narga.
Alright.
Come on.
Okay. I'm
Bring
gonna
with-
hand like it's a cheese wheel, but there's a big knoll bite like right in the center of it. I'm like, Thank you for rotten milk, and then leave.
If the cheese merchant doesn't immediately take it back, I'll say, Nara, you can keep that. You paid for it.
Oh yeah, no, the cheese merchant does not want it back.
Okay,
Oh,
come on.
Thank you.
That's-
I give you more, and then he reaches for his like.
No. Nara, you're fine. You paid the man enough.
But I only gave him like 10 or like 10 shiny circle things. I feel like this is worth way more than 10. Or Narga feels like it's worth way more than 10 shiny circle things.
I think the merchant would just prefer that we be gone now.
All right.
I've met plenty merchants who Narga has met plenty merchants who think that.
I believe you. Hey, Spider, hear it. This way.
Yeah, coming, boss.
Yeah.
Thank
Spider,
you,
you start talking to this person, and the lizard lady and the knoll behind you just like decimate a cheese stand.
By the way, for the DM, I would like to point out that this dog cat thing has just eaten a shit ton of cheese, which means everybody is gonna have a problem in about an hour.
We're gonna get to that. So long as I remember it.
Okay.
Do I have
Spider's approach to the guy was to start out with was probably, "Hey, buddy, the guard's coming. You better get this on." You know, kind of helping him out. Then I was going to ask him, but I probably didn't get to that part, so I get dragged off at that point.
Considering the person you were asking, like it looked like they had some leathers next to them, which might have been guard-like. But as soon as you started helping them, they were putting on like silk, like just silk scarves, and they were just. It was really quick because they were like using them and then tying them in weird knots. So it was like covering things that they needed to, but it would be super convenient in a hot climate.
And for orgies.
And for orgies.
All right, I'll be drug off.
Okay. Barrett looks very confused, I would think, and then just kind of follows you guys. And might actually point to the guard and go, weren't we going to ask him something? As you guys walk by.
We don't need him anymore. It's fine.
Sim. How would you like to approach the cleric?
Hit on him. Hit on him.
You know, Sim was spritzing off with the water, and he just would mention that he's looking for his friends. He lost them before the party last night. He heard that this is where boring people come that weren't into the party, but surprised because he's here. Give him like a little knowing wink.
Sorry.
No worries.
Terribly sorry.
Is that in character or out of character?
That's out of character. That was Becca succumbing to the trace and crud.
Yummy.
Yeah. Anyhow, he will say, and he kind of hangs his head. Yes, it's true. Most people that come to this temple are a little bit more interested in the afterlife. And
they're not done living this one yet. That just seems ridiculous.
that is true. Unfortunately, I haven't heard of any. Well, admittedly, I was a little distracted last night before I came to my watch. But we didn't get any visitors, or at least no lizard or knoll visitors last night. The cleric of the Serpent Lord did arrive, which I know they are supposed to meet with the Emperor tomorrow, or the King. I guess he's not quite an Emperor yet. But they're supposed to meet with the King tomorrow, but they're resting right now.
Oh, that sounds boring. Okay, well, thanks for that, and enjoy, talking about what comes after the party, I guess. I'm going to keep partying. And then he'll, turn around and walk away, and right before the door, he'll sashay his hips, 3 times, turn around, and wink over his shoulder.
Can we please walk in at that point? Because that would be amazing.
Please.
Absolutely.
No, the boring ones!
We open We open the door and you're still looking the other way. And we see him as he's turning, head over your shoulder. So we just see this, and we see this sexy little shimmy. We're like, oh,
That's right.
we found him. There he is.
The boring ones! Hello!
One.
Narga is gonna actually lean down, it's not really lean down because you're not that much shorter than Narga, but it's gonna kind of lean over to Rosho. I have seen animals do that in defensive posture. Do you think he is signaling for us for Narga to attack?
No, I don't think so, Naga. I don't think he's
Are
interested.
you sure? I've seen hamsters who and Trojan seems to exhibit many
Small rodent quality.
small animal qualities, especially related to the nether regions.
I was thinking breeding like rabbits. Yeah, not that far off.
And they have similar ways of dealing with things. Usually they have tails, so they'll put their tail up in the air and emit foul stench. But
So after watching this, Sim's just gonna walk up and say, "I missed you too, puppy." Pat him on the snout and then lick his nose.
Narga is not puppy.
But thank you for the keys.
But thank you for the scotches.
Next time you stick with me, Lizard Lady's a bit of a prude. You'll have way more fun, I promise.
Lizard Lady
no.
is nice, except she steals Narga's cookies.
That sounds about right. She probably knits socks too.
What are socks?
Not something we wear. Don't worry about it.
Aspen Dwarf.
It's a chew toy.
It's a chew toy. Yeah.
Oh yes, I played with socks before.
So, what's going on? Did you guys do when you weren't having fun last night?
We're having
Narga
fun.
had plenty of fun. Narga almost killed little child.
Narga.
Oh,
Narga.
that sounds fun.
Let's talk about this outside the holy place.
What are you talking, holy? By the way, what does the temple look like?
Yeah.
So it is in a kind of pyramid shape. The altar up front has on one side what looks like a malformed dog creature. On the other, it looks like a salamander except with super frills next to its face. And then there are various planters and pots leading up down the center.
Okay.
This is a very weird question, but this is kind of between my out of character knowledge of this particular deity and kind of Narga's view towards religion. Is there any blood in the immediate vicinity? Blood or meat? Is there any blood or meat in the immediate vicinity?
There, at the altar, there is, if he were to get close enough, there is a smell of blood.
Okay.
And there are old blood stains there. In fact, the altar is like a slab that you would lay something on to sacrifice it and have the blood run down.
Okay, I would say so that changes how Narga would oh, holy place. Yes, that does explain the scent of old blood.
Yes.
And that's actually how he responds to that.
Okay. Well, I would still say we at least step outside the temple. We were waiting for that priest or the cleric to show up, right?
You
The
knew
Serpent
cleric
Daddy?
was- No,
Were
you
you talking
knew.
about Serpent Daddy? Because this guy here knows about Serpent Daddy. He said he's here to see the big hoopla or something like that.
I will turn. Rosho turns to this. Just
Can I make a
I'm just-
religion check? Because I feel like that's actually a fairly common religion check, and I'm actually like proficient in religion on that one.
actually.
Well, it depends. Are you religion checking the
Serpent
cleric?
God, because like so again out of character, like if I
Have-
succeed this, the festival to the Serpent God would have happened last night because of our friend the Satyr.
Oh, there was a serpent, all right.
So
Because he is the fertility god, so
yeah, it was
Actually-
actually part of the reason I was so delighted by Sim thing. But the thing is, Sim hasn't mentioned it was a cleric of the serpent god yet.
it doesn't matter.
just-
Anyways, I made the religion check and I rolled a 3, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I just asked if it was the serpent daddy.
I rolled
because
it and got a 13.
Sim's actual respect or care for, mortal gods is.
Not really significant.
Because again, like Nario would have no way of like making this deception check, but like I feel like we could probably actually make a play that Sim is this serpent cleric.
That is totally up to you guys if you decide to do that.
Well, he said
Sim-
that.
Sim hasn't made any check regarding this. Rosho, if Sim mentions that the cleric of the Serpent Lord has
Serpent Daddy.
arrived,
Yeah, he
You
said
know,
Serpent Daddy's here.
yeah, you would know very well that the Serpent Lord is the god of fertility.
Okay.
And
Well, he'll be pleased with you then. Um,
They all are.
I'll ask this priest, not about his pleasure in you, but about our snake daddy and his cleric. So
You're breaking the game.
I'll go ask.
okay. What would you
Ask, did the cleric arrive? Because we did know that that's who we were waiting for from the first time.
Yeah, you did know that the ruler of this area was waiting for this cleric to help with his daughter,
Right.
who was in some sort of enchantment, spell, throw, unable to wake up, trapped in nightmares type thing.
Right. And we were going to meet to try and see if we could help. Or if they could supply us with any additional information about the not this exact Fae in the area.
That's what I was hoping for, yes.
Yes.
Like 3 sessions ago, people.
Yeah.
Get with the program.
Well, someone had to start an orgy. Someone else had to stalk and steal a toy from a little girl. Someone
That
else
orgy
had to
started
try.
without me. I just brought it.
I will say,
Someone else had to try and set a house on fire.
Barrett and Narga,
Did not try to set a house on fire. I did set a house on
Yeah.
fire.
also, out of character, they did a very good job of removing a child from a hag's influence.
Yeah,
However, pause, that child is now in jail.
that's fine. It's cool.
He
Silver
will-
lining. Let's focus. Silver lining.
And we didn't kill that child, even though Nargo really, really, really wanted to. And Scott was like, we have nightmares forever if killing a child in game.
No, it's fun. See, it was great for everybody.
Yeah.
Someone had an orgy. Someone learned a lesson in self-restraint.
Someone learned about licking frogs.
Yes, someone learned about licking frogs. Someone else learned about children.
We're gonna tag
Yeah,
this.
this is a children's show. It teaches lessons.
That's W now. We are officially rated SSW.
No. We are total SFW with the tagline specifically for children. And at the end of the episode, we recap with what life lessons we've learned.
The more you know, like the whole NPC, or do we want to go with the GI Joe? Like knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle. Come on, come on.
Yeah, just all the trademark things.
I'm down.
Okay.
I think
What
we
would
just
you
killed
like?
the DM.
I'm sorry.
That's totally fine. What would you like to ask the cleric of Oxodal?
Do we know where? Do you know where the cleric
axolotls
is? And
fish or dogs?
Yes.
Sorry.
no, good. Thank you. Where can I find this cleric? And do you know when I'd be able to meet with them?
The cleric of the Serpent Lord is in the room just over there. I believe they got in fairly late last night and should be available after brunch. And
All
yes,
right.
I'm using brunch because I don't know how they would actually say this.
That's fair. That's fine.
Narga requests mimosa.
Is there a little restaurant nearby where we can get some brunch? Anyone else French toast?
They have
No?
platters of drugs. Narga feels like if they have platters of drugs, they have brunch.
Oh, you need drugs? I probably. No, sorry.
Took
I'm
them
out. I can get some more. I know a guy.
I know all the guys. I know all of them intimately.
I will say there is a very lovely brunch spot, not in the main trading area, but just to the east of it. It's called Luna's.
All right. Who wants brunch? Let's go. We'll come back.
I've worked up a bit of an appetite.
you.
That sounds decent.
You didn't have enough to eat last night?
Out of curiosity,
Calories off.
because I missed it, is Sim wearing clothes at this point?
What he usually wears.
Nothing, right?
Well,
I
Doesn't
kind of
matter.
imagine you as Donald Duck. Like, you wear a shirt.
With a little vest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Satyrs generally wear tops, but don't worry about bottoms. They've got the furry legs and all that jazz.
Mhm.
So he's got a studded leather vest, for armor, and he kind of just rocks
Okay,
that.
see, you said studded leather, and I heard leather daddy.
I heard leather vest, and suddenly, like, now he is in, like, the gay bar, like, 80s gay bar biker
BDSM
vest with,
Yes.
with the really weird hat and the, like...
Yes.
I don't have the hat yet. The Trojan thing is new. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to get a special hat to fit the horns.
We'll have to have that custom made.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
probably hurt if he didn't have for the horns.
We'll also have to make sure it's
It
studded.
can't impede my headbutting.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so we go get brunch.
Mimosas.
I'm a
As
rock
you guys
gun.
are leaving,
And
Sim,
because I'm a rock
Claire-
gun, it is worn open.
Oh, of
It's
course.
not like buttoned or something.
Or like one button at like.
all right. As you guys are leaving, Sim, the cleric does grab your arm for just a moment and say, "Thank you because of your celebration for the Serpent Lord. I was able to finally experience my love's affection." And
I would like to.
Lucy-
I would like to just like kind of sniff on that and see, like, just like you know the smell.
This person has definitely had sex, but it does smell like they had actually had sex with a woman, not a man.
Okay.
That
I don't know
Narga
Sim's
might not
anatomy,
know
so
this, but-
it's like whatever.
Yeah. If anyone does an insight check,
No.
yes, this person was part of the orgy, but it was actually they finally had the affection of the person.
5.
No, this person is totally into Sim.
Okay. And as
Clearly.
soon as we live, Narga is going to be like, Narga does not understand a goat person anatomy, but if you mate with that, Narga believes if you mate with that creature, you will have strong children that will win many wars.
Sim's gonna again pat Puppy on the snout and say, "Oh, Puppy, mating's not always about making babies." And then he'll lick him on the nosy
God damn it.
and walk out the temple.
Rosho,
Narga
Yeah.
is like one of these things that he knows for like 30 minutes.
That's why it's funny.
Rosho, with your insight roll, you recognize this cleric is actually assumes that Sim is some sort of interaction with something called the Serpent Lord, the god of fertility, and is thanking him for the celebration because it has furthered his interaction with the person that he's really interested in.
She's happy to have the information and also kind of doesn't care. So mimosas.
Yeah, mimosas!
Mimosas.
You get to
Are
Luna.
avocados a thing here? Because brunch avocado toast, I feel, is pretty
I
basic.
feel like it might be a little humid for avocados.
No,
Uh,
avocados are actually really great in humid climates.
I'm
We have
imagining
It has
Flo-
a lot more to deal with the actual time frames of the heat versus cold
Yeah.
because avocados bloom in the winter, which would, according to the northern hemisphere. So they're great in central and southern areas.
Okay, sweet.
And yes, Akira has avocados because it's Akira and it's fucking
Alright.
amazing.
I've decided Rosho likes avocados, and that's going to be whatever that involves is what she'll order with her mimosas while they eat brunch.
So,
All right.
as
I
an
will say,
obligate carnivore, Narga has almost always ate meat. But as soon as mimosas are offered, he asks for Narga wishes hibiscus mimosa, and it's like the girliest thing possible.
Yes.
And he insists on the right flute glass.
all right, I was going to say before you said that hibiscus mimosas, raspberry mimosas, traditional mimosas, and rose mimosas are all available. But,
Hibiscus for sure.
oh yeah.
Sim will lean in and say, I am really looking forward to seeing you fit your tongue in that flute glass.
He's like,
Sim is just fascinated. He thought for sure it was going to break.
Spider's gonna slide next to Rosha when she's waiting for her food and like, hey, boss lady.
mhm.
So I was getting some word on the street last night, and got to be careful around these parts. Sounds like kidnapping exotic strangers is a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seen those bracelets that everyone wears?
Yeah.
Those are like marks of ownership.
Do you mean like slaves?
Yeah, so if we don't have them, that makes us targets.
Shit. Do you know where? Could we get fake ones?
Well, I was attempting to borrow one from one of those frog people.
Uh-huh.
Turns out they're not good to touch.
The bracelets?
No, the frogs.
Oh. Do they not like being touched?
They're toxic or weird or something.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
we should
everything got really trippy when I tried, so.
So at this, Narga is because I just did the wisdom check and I actually rolled pretty good. And with the DM's permission, I want to I feel like Narga is stupid enough to realize that everyone realizes this, but is also going to be like unusual persons. Good thing we aren't one of those. Or none of us are one of those. We just have the child of a demonic lord. A lizard woman who can cast spells, a creature from another world, a hybrid of human and troll that don't exist on this continent.
Hey, you
And
calling
a
me a,
dwarf
who you calling a fairy tale creature?
And a dwarf.
and a dwarf that seems to literally do nothing. Oh wait, and then it's literally 5 minutes. Oh wait.
Oh.
What?
All right. So, listening to Narga's little spiel and then completely dismissing it. So, Spider, do you know if we could get them from someone else since these frogs don't seem helpful?
Yeah, I think me and my short friend here can maybe pull it off.
Oh, Trolley, you don't have to call me a short one. You can call me Sim, and then he'll lick your nose too because he feels like you might be feeling left out.
Yeah,
Barrett's,
I'm gonna dodge that, with a
Sim is not
finger on his forehead.
Sim is not ketchup anymore.
Oh.
Sim is now Trojan.
Oh, I like that. Yes, I should have a hat commissioned.
yeah, you're going to.
I was referring to the dwarf.
What about the dwarf? You want to have him a hat made?
No, Barrett just kind of scoots further away from you so you don't lick him in the fucking face and goes, I think he meant for the bracelets.
You want to buy matching bracelets for the dwarf?
Yeah, friendship bracelets.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't say that.
No.
He already owes a life debt. No friendship bracelets. They get them like the sewn ones or those woven ones, and one says best friends.
At
and
this
the other
point, like,
says
Nargis is pulling out like a long hair and no, he doesn't. Braiding that.
You know, goat hair is very good for woolen things to keep warm with. You can borrow some of mine.
I have heard, Narga has heard that goat hair is very soft, and I would start actually petting your. Narga starts petting your leg.
Yeah, but where?
Sim just leans into
My
it.
thigh.
Yep, Sim just leans into it.
Leans
No
into
hair.
it, so it's suddenly upper thigh.
And he'll look at you. He'll be like, I knew you'd come around.
Please don't come around at the table. We're about to.
It is very soft. Narga is interested in maybe like
Narga.
wearing your pelt as a cloak.
So I just need to pick up a few tools.
Okay, yeah, let's separate the conversation. We'll scoot the people, leave them to their molestation corner.
I'm pretty sure Narga just threatened him, but okay.
No, I know. But it's Sim.
Threaten.
He's not going to take it as a threat.
Threaten Sim with a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Sim might just be imagining him just like draped over his shoulders or something in a weird.
He's just like, ooh.
Well, literally, the last time we traveled, the dwarf decided to ride on Narga's shoulders, so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's already been established Narga doesn't care.
Yes.
So me and Barrett are gonna go get some tools, and
And you just like slink out of the conversation after your mimosas.
Yep.
yeah.
Are we ordering food? I'm confused.
We
because
already ordered food.
This was good, but it was.
Narga drinks really, like, as everything, Narga eats really fast and drinks really fast, so he's probably like 3 mimosas in at this point.
It is bottomless mimosas, and I am guessing you ordered like some sort of meat substance, and there's sandwiches that have delightful avocado
Yes.
and roasted mushroom and.
If they don't
roasted
replace
red
things fast enough,
peppers.
Sim will start eating the plates.
Fair.
Yeah, no,
Like,
they're pretty
he's
quick
hungry.
about like.
Yeah, Sim is
serving.
probably, like, Sim burned lots of calories last time.
Oh, encouraging. All right. So, Spider, do you need money to get these tools, or
They're gone. Why are you talking?
No, I made some withdrawals from the local credit union last night,
okay?
so it should be good there. Yeah, where do you want to meet up?
I'll meet up back at the temple. By then, the cleric should be good to go.
All right, we won't be too long.
Bye. I'm assuming Barrett will go with you. Maybe like stuffing whatever food he can in a bag to take with him. I don't know. I always think of dwarves as being hungry. Like bottomless pits.
Well, I
Food and ale.
I did the homeless thing and filled my pockets while we were talking, so
Oh, good. The free bread rolls. Just shove that.
yeah, those are great.
You can come in, pretend you're going to order food, eat it all, and then leave.
You can wrap them around anything else you might find on your way. So we'll go to the market, try to find some tools.
All right, so you have thieves' cant, correct?
Yes.
Wandering around the market, it will take you 30 minutes to an hour before you see the thieves' cant that actually like indicates an area for selling and buying of like stolen or thieves' wares.
Perfect.
I'm not even having you roll because you can actually see that. All it would take would be for you to do a few circles around the market. Heading down the alleyway, you do reach a bar establishment. Outside, it does have the symbol of... Why am I blanking on this? The person that actually sells stolen goods.
A fence?
Yeah.
Thank you! Fence! You do see a bar establishment with the fence symbol outside. And you do know that in a lot of areas, the fence also does provide tools.
Okay. I will approach. We'll go inside together.
Okay? What could I get for you today? We have plenty of ales on tap.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm looking for some dark ale, and I'll start in on the thieves' cant,
Okay.
and
So-
start ordering drinks for my friend and I.
All right. So they do provide you drinks. They do also slide what you are actually asking for, and the price of the beer plus that ends up being like 2 gold.
Okay. All right. I'll just.
And thank you for not asking me to actually try to do that, because I can't do the underlayer speak. I just
Sure.
can't.
Okay, and then I won't write anything special down. We'll just call it part of my thieves' tools, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. I'll thank him, and we'll be on our way.
All right.
Don't want to stick around too long. They might ask questions.
Oh yeah, they definitely would.
Okay, I was slightly distracted by Chester. Is Shayna, or sorry, is Rosho still there, or is it just literally Narga and Sim getting drunk at the mimosa place?
Rosho trusts that Spider and Barrett can get done what they need to get done, so she's staying here because she doesn't necessarily know what y'all are going to get up to.
Because she doesn't trust Sim to start another orgy, or Narga to set fire to the entire town.
Yeah. At least this time, if there's an orgy, she'll understand where it started instead of stumbling across people writhing in the street.
Although
So-
technically Sim did not start that first orgy.
Yeah, I know, but she still doesn't know how it started. She just knows there was one, and now they think that he's some kind of connection to a fertility god.
I mean, that's easy to understand
Fair, but she'd rather know.
firsthand.
At
No.
this point, actually, I would imagine like there were 3 sheets to the wind, and like Narga has mentioned that I think you're a connection to the fertility god, and is just sharing that fact that Narga is like descended from this demon god, and is actually looking at Roshan like, what god is Lizard Woman descended from?
She actually is. Hold on, though, I forgot what name I gave it.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's what it was. Does the sun god in this world have a name? Because it's that one.
It's what you actually named it in your.
I forget what I wrote. Sorry.
We have never named it. It is
Was
the
it Inti? Well, no, Inti is the actual sun god.
so there is actually. So this is weird. There is a sun god, a sun emperor, and then there is also a chaos god. They are the same god, and their names
Okay.
are just inversed of each other. But I don't think I think. Oh no! Actually, the sun god's actual name is Petahole because Petaholian, because that's Nyarlathotep backwards.
I love that.
They
I
are
need
the
you
same
to write
god.
that down. I need you to write that
it's
down.
literally in the wiki, but it is blocked
I'm-
by you have to actually know the thing. But yeah,
Nope, I'm pretty sure that's not actually in the wiki. I need you to write it down.
I will write it down. But Nyarlathotep is actually a Lovecraftian god of
Yes, he is.
darkness, and if you take that backwards, that is the name of the Sun Emperor
Which there you go.
because they're the same god.
So that one.
Uh-huh.
I am the heir of this family line that ties back to the original race of my people that met this god.
Okay.
The golden scales on my body represent my line to him.
Okay, so we're all commiserating on our
Our connection
Even
to gods.
yeah, even though literally Sim doesn't have one, but is probably bullshitting the shit out of this conversation.
It
No.
depends.
Sim's just letting you guys spin your stories because he doesn't really believe in gods because,
He's very.
he's met the queens of fairy and they are way more powerful and scary than any of your imaginary gods that he's never seen.
They actually are probably scarier. I wouldn't say powerful, but they are definitely scarier.
They're definitely scarier.
That's all it takes for him. Like, as far as he's concerned, your gods are fictitious beings that exist in your head, but the queens of fairy are real. And
They're scary.
he's gonna let you have your stories about why some god pissed on your scales and turned them yellow. and how your puppy litter was descended from a bigger puppy. That's what he took from all the stories.
Okay, so Spider, you eventually get back to them, and they're still drinking mimosas. And they seem to be commiserating about their lineages to gods.
I would like to also point out at this point, Narga, because he is getting drunker, and I'm not even going to roll for this, like he's just drinking mimosas, and because he loves the hibiscus mimosas. Is Narga, because he's a divine soul sorcerer, like his natural inclination is magical, so he is literally like he's stopping containing the prestidigitation, so his eyes are like on fire at this point, and he's darker and he's kind of sparkly.
Okay.
Like he is radiating menace right now, and it is not. But he still has the hood up, like he's still like pretending to be a just giant Viren.
Okay.
But he's not rubbing his nose in shame anymore.
Mm-mm. He is actually fairly standing tall and like boasting about shit.
So how much longer until the priest is ready for us?
They're probably actually ready. At this point, it's a matter of
I don't know that
gathering your
we're
drunk-
ready for them.
Yeah. It's more of when your companions are going to be ready for them.
Narga thinks he's fine. But Narga will also say it is probably best if Narga does not talk during this entire exchange.
I was muted.
She was strangely silent.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, Rosha would say, if you think that's what's best for now, Narga, that's.
It's probably best if Trojan does not start sexual escapade. Or I can't say escapade, that's too many syllables.
That's too big of.
Orgy would actually probably be better.
Does not start.
I feel like orgy is too obscure a word.
Sex
Dog pile.
Sex carnival.
I like dog pile.
Sex circus? Sex circus is close enough. If Trojan does not start sex circus, so keep out, and he will actually take a giant paw and like cover his Sim's mouth during when we get close.
Sick licks the inside of the hand.
Narga does not care. Narga actually is slightly enjoying it at this point.
It's muffled.
How tall is Sim?
Short, right?
5'5".
Narga whispers into Sim's ear. Sim doesn't realize Narga is 7 feet tall and is completely proportional. Correct?
Muffled, it's again with the "don't threaten me with a good time."
There's so many mental images in that I didn't need once, but they're there now.
I'm sorry.
The stuff
No,
of
you're not,
nightmares.
liar.
The things of nightmares are born in Sun Puppies.
Children's show.
Sun Puppies, come on, come all. The more you know children's show. It's for children.
We didn't say they were good children.
You know what? Fair point. And legally, that's how we're going to cover our asses. You corrupted my kids. We didn't say it was for good kids.
Okay, in order to facilitate this shutting up, I will let you guys actually talk while I go away for a
Okay.
second.
Okay.
So we'll all
Um,
meet up outside the temple.
you're having a meeting outside the temple?
Or we're meeting up there.
Okay.
Sim's going wherever Narga leads since he's currently muffled and he's in a good mood, so why not?
I wonder why he's in a good mood.
But as soon as he's distracted, I'm slipping out of that paw.
Of course.
It probably would be pretty easy to distract him to slip him out of that paw.
Mhm.
Distracting him doesn't seem to be a difficult
That's
task.
why Sim's content to just let it happen naturally.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, are you meeting outside of the temple to discuss anything, or are you meeting up and then just going right in?
The bracelets. Since
Alright.
that seems something of a priority given Spider's unfortunate news.
Yeah, well, I got the tool I need. Now we just need the donors.
God damn it.
I can,
A bunch of people sleeping in a pile outside. I'm just saying.
if we had another pile, it would be easier. I'm just saying.
So, Sim, how do you feel about a repeat performance tonight? Do you want to just take your hand and nod yes or shake no for me? Okay, I'm taking that as yes. I can see the joy in your eyes. I imagine I can still see your eyes. That giant paw on your face.
Mhm.
All right, we'll take care of it later then. Thank you, Spider. And
My
Barrett.
pleasure.
Barrett, the backup singer. All right, let's go meet that cleric. You okay?
Yeah, I'm totally good. Totally good.
Did you not count on a second orgy so soon?
No.
You did say it would be thematic now.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I
it's
said it,
totally
but-
going to be thematic now. I just wasn't anticipating it this soon.
Seder, and it's Chester.
Insatiable.
I have been called.
Tell all your hot friends.
Oh god.
Okay, so you enter the temple. There is a human woman speaking with the Yuan-Ti cleric. Her robes are definitely more colorful, more vibrant, more greens and blues and yellows. Thank you. And they seem to be discussing Anakuana. I think I said that right. Anakuana's condition and how it has not been relieved from the child being locked up, and they are discussing sacrificing the child to Axatl to free Anakuana. They are also discussing, though, if they are sacrificing the child, whether it would be appropriate to sacrifice either a dog or a gnoll along with someone else.
All the while, Narga is currently with his hand like enclosed around Saturn's mouth, kind of looking like he probably looks down slightly, like gives a like eye look to Sim. At which point, just like goes doe-eyed and like. Do.
Now, they are discussing this in common, though, because the other cleric is human, does not seem to speak Yuan-Ti. So this is all in common. All of you can understand it. But they are actively discussing, as you walk into the temple, possibly sacrificing the 12-year-old and possibly a dog or a gnoll along with her to free Anakuana from whatever it is that is holding her.
You think the girl did this?
we're not entirely sure, but it sounds like pretty good evidence that she might be either influenced by something or might be the cause of what's going on.
What about?
If she,
Sorry, actually continue. I won't interrupt yet because Nario wouldn't. Sorry.
it's okay. If she's just being influenced, wouldn't it be better to find the thing influencing her?
Absolutely, but I have
At this point, Nario actually does kind of a beatbox thing, so it's like every other word like isn't covered by his mouth. Because Naruto like feels like he knows something but doesn't actually. So it's even like not even a beatbox thing. It's like he's tapping his clawed fingers against his mouth. Probably doesn't actually feel good for Sim, but like it does allow some of the voice out of Sim.
Rosha will reach over and tap on Narga's forearm. Would you mind letting Trojan go so he can tell us what he's trying to tell us?
But everything Trojan says is either sexual or stupid.
Is the stupid guy.
Yeah. So Rosha takes a second to think about the validity of that statement.
Or mean. You forgot mean.
Spider says that from the background, yes. Regardless,
And
this
believe me,
he can shed light on.
Naruto knows stupid.
If there's any situation in which he could be helpful, I feel this is it. Please, Darga.
Is Lizard Lady sure?
No, but why not?
All right.
He's
I
lost it.
release Trojan to your custody. You are the and again I feel so bad for this word. You are the bitch of this group.
I mean, you're not technically wrong on any sense.
But I think both Shane and I are very grateful that you prefaced it beforehand regarding the social aspects of Knowles
Yes.
before you ever use that word.
Yeah.
But any viewers or who are offended may email Scott personally and let him
Add
know.
blah blah blah. Yeah.
For anyone who is offended, Knowles are a matriarchal society. Bitch is and I'm saying that, and I know my eyes were like because we went over this last episode, but Knowles are a matriarchal society. That term literally means female dog. At which point they would actually use it in point of reverence. But anyways.
So am I free?
To speak.
Huh. Sim would like, as the hand would act like he's pushing it away. You forgot self-aggrandizing and flattering. Now, where were we?
Naruto did not forget.
Okay.
Naruto does not understand what those words mean.
That's okay. You just stand over there with the other big one. Now, we're going to talk about the thing. The thing that I know that we were talking
You
about.
love how big I am. Sim loves how big I am.
The influence, yes. The source, the thing. And he's going to point at the one who was talking about the source and say, this thing called a hag. They're very hideous, ugly-looking, bog, swampy, dream-invading, creepy brain, infest and make babies with your babies type people, and they're not nice. I don't like them. But that's what you have going on here.
Okay. How do we deal with that? And is the child one of these?
Not yet. Maybe someday if she plays her cards wrong.
Okay. So what?
That's spelled H-A-G if you'd like to consult your people with books.
Not
usually
a
they
simple
use
creature, but you deal with all creatures the same way. You bite off their heads, crunch on their eyeballs.
I mean, the theory's sound.
Okay, well, how do we get them in somewhere where we can chomp off their heads and crunch on their eyeballs?
At this point, Naruto actually like removes his hood, revealing his null form, and like Naruto skull small. Naruto
Do we have to put avocado on them?
skull. Naruto skull small. Not room for brain. Naruto teeth sharp. Naruto hands sharp. Narga good at crunching of skulls. Narga not good at figuring out things. That's up to you.
Both of them are going, they turn to Sim and Rosho and
So here's the
Spider and go,
we get someone with experience, like myself, to talk to someone with a brain.
He
The jury-
definitely has experience.
The jury's still out.
No, it's
But
not.
we'll find someone, and we'll go off into the woods, and we'll go find this hag, and we'll, see if she wants to play nicely, or if Narga will bite off her head and crunch her eyeballs, and have his way with her corpse, whatever. Then,
Whoa!
when we come back,
Narga feels hag is a sexist term. Narga feels the hag should be modified.
we'll talk about that later. So when we get back, you all will talk with Wizard Lady here about the payment that she owes these people that are on her payroll, and then you and I will talk about favors. And like big.
No, I feel like everybody should at this point, like, at the word favors, everybody should give Sim this, like, arched look of, really?
If
okay,
Cleric
so
looks at us in confusion, I just shrug and nod, like, yeah. I mean, that was going to be what I suggest anyway.
okay, well, if you can go and handle this hag situation and Anakoana wakes up, and this is the Oxodal priest, not the other priest. I do know that Tezomok was intending to reward whoever could actually free his daughter.
There you go. She loves money.
At this point, I actually feel like Narga would actually, like, reach into his pouch and, like, this awful god that seems lame and kind of, for lack of stronger term, fish-like and stupid. And you already seem to, and this society already has platters literally of drugs. Can I interest you in mushrooms?
He cocks his head and goes, Oxodal has very little interest in the living world. Oxodal...
I interest you in something that is very interested in living world and will take power away from my bloodline. I give you the power of those that would defy Yanogu. And he's literally handing mushrooms to them.
Mushroom and say, is this the one that makes you bigger or smaller?
Neither makes you unified in a way that you would never
Oh,
understand.
No! Oh
He pokes it.
no! I'm sorry.
And yes, I didn't tell my DM about this.
Alright, so I'm gonna roll two d20s for the two priests.
Okay.
Tell me
But
DC.
you're also
that-
tempting them.
Okay.
I was gonna go for
It's a new drug, right?
DC
It is a new drug.
15.
He doesn't have any deception. Do you want me to roll a charisma check?
Yes. We'll roll it against each other.
Okay. 8.
Holy fucking shit, you gotta be kidding me.
Do it.
Did my 8 beat you?
I just rolled 2 ones.
Sim really wants in on that shit too.
Oh my god, yes!
Oh god, okay. They are so very interested in this.
I do want to go out of character. We're about to stop because, like, I
Oh,
have
we're
another
gonna have to.
I want to go out of character while Becky coughs. Narga hates Yanogu and is actively trying to defeat him, which means that he is actively, like, giving mushrooms to Zooktamoy. He is proliferating unity.
Well, Sim failed his wisdom check, no surprise there, and he totally wants a mushroom.
He actually, so as much as that, Nargo will not give you a mushroom. If that gives the priest advantage, that's fine. But Nargo will not give Sim a mushroom because Nargo has no interest in benefiting Zooktamoy beyond his own, like, trying to annoy Inogu at this point.
All right. So, is it evident that you are refusing Sim the mushrooms while trying to give it to them?
You want me another charisma deception check?
Well, no, I want
I
to.
poked it first, and then I probably would have tried to swipe it because.
Yeah, I want to know your interaction with Sim before we close off.
If you gotta regard it, it's like, this is only for holy men. Are you holy man?
I was with the fertility gods all night, I am told. I am very sanctified.
So I actually feel like, and this is actually a weirder check. This is gonna be insight for Narga and deception for Sim.
All right, roll it.
9.
Not gonna go well for him. Yeah, I got you beat with a 1, bruh.
Okay, he gives you a fucking mushroom.
Okay, well then, yeah, both of the clerics are interested in this mushroom as well. And that is where we're going to end for tonight, because I am going to need to figure out how Unity factors into all.
Sim is totally gonna put that up and like toast the mushrooms before we eat them too.
Clinkies.
Stems up, ladies.
You're actually fine. So Narga wouldn't have any, but Fae are immune to charm. So
Yeah, the two clerics aren't. They're really low level though.
yeah. Sorry, I know it didn't make like it is something I put in Narga's thing that you would have these things. He is trying to. He hates Inogu with a passion. So, and you know that from his history. So.
Yep.
Daddy issues.
Okay, so that's where we're going to end for tonight, because I really have to think about that.
Are we going to resume?
Sunday ops.
Monday, because you have Sunday, Chester.
Right.
We're gonna trade off Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to try for something you're doing Sunday, but the Sun Puppies are meeting again Monday, as was our normal day.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the
What-
way, I do want to make this thing, and so Chester, if I don't know if you're planning on doing anything this Sunday.
I was gonna talk about Saturday. We'll see how much I get done before Saturday.
Okay, so I am working on it. I have a personal system, and I will also bring this up in Paladins. I have a personal sci-fi system that I've been working on off and on for the past year. I need to playtest the combat. It's gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. It's going to be boring in terms of RP because I'm gonna give you pre-gens.
Well,
But
pre-gens can be really interesting, but I do have a question, because we've already done a little bit of pre-testing with the aerial combat, well, the space combat with the ships.
Yeah, but those are D20s. This is going to be a weird D10 system. But
Oh, okay.
I will send anyone who's interested the playtest document. I am finishing it up this weekend. If anyone's interested, the more players the better, because it stresses the system.
Okay.
It is purely a playtest. It will be streamed simply because that helps with
Reviewing your stuff later.
of people pointing out flaws and things like that. It is going to be a document. So I will not be ready this weekend because while the playtest document will come out this weekend, it won't be. I don't feel like you guys will be able to like absorb it because and it will go out to everyone in Paladins and here, and I will probably also post it on the D&D Castle group. But if you're, I would love to be able to set it up for Sunday. It won't be the Invisible Sun game, but we will start that on Sunday, and then we'll start the Invisible Sun game. But the Invisible Sun game, which me and Chester decided we will alternate his game with my Invisible Sun game every other week. Occasionally, and I want to preface this, occasionally my game will be interrupted by playtests as I kind of iterate.
Okay,
Sure.
no worries.
The reason I'm doing this, by the way, is because every sci-fi game, and Chester knows this, I despise. And mechanically.
Yeah,
Travis can empathize because he messaged me earlier. He was working on a West End Games conversion, it sounds like he said,
Mm-hmm.
from the original Star Wars D6.
oh,
I liked the simplicity of it, but I tried to add some some customization from other systems that would work. So I'm tinkering with it now.
I think like sci-fi is the holy grail of RPGs right now because like like my system is not simple. I want to say that right now. It's not simple. It's based upon Das Schwarze Auge, which is a German D&D hack, which it's a German system.
Don't even say it's a D&D hack because it is a different system. And I will admit, my first interaction with it was not a good experience, but that was actually because of the guy running the game.
Because he was arrogant as shit. But
oh yeah.
And a
Fun.
Germophile. And insinuated that anyone that was running any other system was stupid for not appreciating the system that was the Schwarze Auge. And honestly, the Schwarze Auge is still pretty simple. You roll 3 d20s instead of 1 regarding like your different checks and your different skills, and the DM is supposed to adjust it regarding the different skill level. He wasn't doing that. He was just rolling 3 d20s with the different skill levels, even if it was something that a normal everyday person should be able to do on a normal basis.
Ow. Anyways, so I will be doing that. I will be doing that test probably the week after Chester rolls his game on Sunday.
Okay.
What day are we doing that?
Me? Are you talking to me?
Yep.
If people are available to,
I got to cut out. I'll catch you guys later.
See you,
Probably.
Travis.
Hey, Travis. If people are available for Kira Sunday, I figured we could get together and start talking that stuff. My game premise intro. I'm working on that. I started that tonight. I already showed it to Shanna when we first sat down when she first got here.
Yeah.
So that should definitely be ironed out by then, and character details that they'll be quick to follow. I'm just trying to wrap my head around I know Ravnica from playing Magic, not from having read the 5e conversion book.
It's really not. The only biggest difference is that the guilds give you, like, as long as you understand the like what the guilds want, is the guilds give you some spells, but that's about it. Like, it's surprising. I'm sure I'm going to be running Golgari as my player character.
I'm actually going to start things out sort of ungilded Shadowrun-esque.
Okay.
But like leaving it. So the premise is that something happened because I'm having the Dimir be a hidden guild again. I don't like that they came public. So there's a memory wipe event that happened about 10 years ago, and the socioeconomic fallout has some districts around the citywide planet being overrun by Gruul because of the guilds actually pulling out of districts because so many people are losing faith in the guilds. And then kind of population influx to the more popular guilds now where they have their center strongholds, and the ungilded looking to earn their way either in new power factions or earn their way into guilds as they want, kind of just like Shadowrun. You could be a court member and not necessarily be dedicated to just your corp, or however that all plays out individually.
Let's do it. This sounds amazing.
This sounds amazing. I will tell you, I'm still going to be running a Spore Druid, and
I figured.
it's either gonna be if you don't allow me to do this, but like if you do allow me to do this, I'm gonna run a Gorgon. If you don't allow me to do it, I'll be a Drought.
Did they do Gorgon in there? Because
They did not, and I will send you a PDF document from the DM's guide because I want to be in the words of Jeremy Crawford, a Gorgon with the wigglies, not the snake hair. They have the wigglies because if you look at the art, they don't have like snake heads for their hair. That's all the snake tails.
Yep. Sounds cool.
Can I be an artificer? Is it?
Probably. I know they're about to drop the new artificer somewhere any day now.
It's either gonna be. It's gonna be next week.
Oh, next week?
Next week is the artificer, and it should be. And I have a feeling the biggest difference is that they're gonna fix the 6th level ability, the weird construct.
Cool.
But
I won't be available for anything until Monday.
That's fine. Like we're just doing session 0 stuff, so we can talk offline.
I was gonna.
But that
I
gives
still definitely want in on all of this.
We can find out if Terry and James went in, or I don't know if we've ever seen your brother come into a Sunday night game or not, but if you want.
So Tucker will not do Sunday night game. It is why he won't do actually Invisible Sun, even though it is so in his wheelhouse.
I have no idea.
That's when he normally gets gigs.
Well, no, he actually gets gigs on Fridays, but he has a 6-year Pathfinder game.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's fucking.
That's
awesome.
cool.
That, yeah, he that's on Sunday nights. But yeah, no one gets gigs on Sundays.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't do shows like that. They just.
No. Tucker is a bassist for two bands right now. One a grunge band, one like a cover 80s band. But and secondary vocals for both. But so he gets gigs on, which is why every once in a while Tucker is like late and with like those bloodshot red eyes because actually I'm gonna because Tucker